Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Wednesday, September the 18th. Sean Higgs coming at you, and we got a new guest. He's not new to the business, he's sort of new to the site. We'll give a little intro to Mr. Brian Bitler in a second. Chip Chirimbes, as always, on a Wednesday. But before we get to our free picks and the gentleman today, let's take a moment here. Hit the like button on the Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe, notification bells on if you haven't done it already. We got free picks Monday to Friday here on the video. Some taped, some live. But we know what we're missing. You coming in. So, notification bell on, you know when we post these puppies up. The free picks are great. Me and Chip yesterday, we did go 1-1 with our totals. It happens. We'll be back on track. Mr. Bitler here has a lot to live up to because 6-2 run since college and NFL football has begun. I think me and Chip went 2-0 last Wednesday, so the pressure is on Brian Bitler to deliver today a winner because we like to go undefeated in our football. But this is just the free stuff. If you want the premiums, 3 738 packages at gamblersWORLD.net, all guaranteed. Show you a profit or we credit you back, and you can continue on. We have a leaderboard. You know how we do. Win or lose, always the truth. I say that often. Chip Chirimbes is pretty good. 6 straight megabuck winners. That's pretty good. That'll get you on top of the leaderboard. Me, taking the under San Francisco, and Craig Kimball comes in and gives up 14 runs or whatever the heck he does top 9th. That's how you get a loser. Thank you, Orioles. You're going nowhere, you bums. But NFL and college football is here, so why not hop onto a season-long package? You only missed 2 weeks, so we do have our season packages up. There you go. College and NFL, $7.99. Get them all, every play. Pretty sure this would be through the Super Bowl and the Bowl championship game. Says it right there. Can't go wrong with that. Every single pick in action on the gridiron, as they like to say. Although I just call it the football field. Anyway, enough of that. Let's I'll get to Chip in a second. We got a new guy, though. Relatively new to our channel, but he's been around quite a bit. I've been on sides of Brian for years going back. Brian Bitler in the house. Brian, how are things? Good to see you. Welcome aboard to the videos. I know you'll be coming in Wednesdays with us, talking some football during football season. So we thank you for that. And tell us, the viewers, about yourself a little bit here.
Oh, I got to tell you, it's always great to be on with 2 legends of the game here with Sean Higgs and Chip Chirimbes. I got to say, I always looked up to Chip. You know, me and him have similar styles, and definitely one of the guys in the business that I look up to. As far as, I've been doing this for around 15 years, and college football is really something, one of my main sports: college football, college basketball. So definitely.
That's not what I want. I was trying to switch you in the front.
Definitely happy to join the guys here on a Wednesday. Should be some fun, giving out some free winners.
I was trying to get you center stage there. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry there, Brian. But
no problem.
Yeah, Chipper. I don't know if I'm a legend. I'm a legend in my own mind. I think that's what my kids say. But Chip for sure has been one of the icons on the old Mount Rushmore of the cappers back there. And speaking of I'm going to say old timers because then eventually you'll get to our sports history of the day. But Chip, 6 straight megabuck winners again. Come on, on a heater, my guy.
I don't post them every single day, and I had the side in that Oriole game. I had the Red Sox yesterday, so that was nice, jumping out to an early lead and maintaining it throughout. So it just, when you get in a rhythm like this, things just seem to pop out at you. And even though we're in the middle of football right now, baseball still continues to the beat goes on, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I was having a nice little run. I think I was like 15-10 or something in September, and I think the last couple of days of August. I was doing all right because, again, the lines get heavy. You guys notice it. Everything gets and it's like, why? Let's move on. We got football. We got things to concentrate on. But.
And pretty soon, Sean and Brian, they're gonna start putting lines up on all of these games when teams are eliminated. And like you said, we don't deal with the 2-to-1s and the big prices. Most of the games are around pick'em or small dogs.
Exactly.
Well, the good thing is that nowadays, not like in the 90s when I started getting the action, but you could do team totals and you could do a player prop or something. We could kind of do different things for the people here watching to attack a game instead of laying a 400 with somebody playing the White Sox because they're still battling for a wild card spot or something. We can't lay those crazy numbers. But listen, we're going to be laying some short numbers here as we talk NFL football. So we're going to start with we'll start with Brian because you know what? We got to give our new guy some. We got to let him spread his wings a little bit. So Cardinals and Detroit. It's a 52.5. Lions a little favorite here on the road on Sunday afternoon. This line, I do my little look at lines up, right? Like I'm always looking ahead to see what these are when they first come out and then kind of adjust where the adjustment comes on the overreaction kind of nonsense. 4.5 was the first number here. Now it's a 3 makes sense because Arizona, looked pretty good against Buffalo. They fell apart, but Buffalo's a pretty good team. Destroyed a weak Rams team. Here comes Detroit, who's having some trouble getting into the red zone, but a lot of hype on these guys. I think they're a Super Bowl type team, but what do you got here? Detroit -3, total of 52.5. Arizona at home, 3-point doggy.
I'll tell you a very interesting game here. You get to look at a little bit of an early betting preview on the board here. Lions travel to take on those Arizona Cardinals, who are perfect 2-0 ATS this season after that big win last week. But the Rams, a lot of people like the Rams going into that one. I got to say the Cardinals were my best bet, not to toot my own horn. Here, Lions were involved with the second biggest upset, in my opinion, last weekend. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers went into Detroit, kind of exposed them for a 20-16 win. Even with that loss, you're still seeing a lot of action here on the Detroit Lions. Cardinals, remember how good they looked in that first half against the Buffalo Bills. Easily could be 2-0 headed into this game. Still, I think it's a bargain getting this team at home plus the points. I think it's going to be another week here until the books and the people catch up to them. For me, I think this is the last team to hold the ball is going to win this game. I like to have points in my pocket. I'll take the Arizona Cardinals at home plus the points, but I would wait a little bit to get in this. Maybe you can get it at 3.5, but I'm happy with a field goal.
Brian Bitler, official first pick on the Winner Circle channel here on the YouTube channel, says Arizona home doggy +3. And I see scoring across here. You're having a nice little college football season there, 61% out of the gate. Not too bad.
I wish I would have got in here on week 0 because actually I'm 14-7 on the year. But, we can only do what's verified here on the site. But definitely college football, I'm seeing things clearly. NFL, I'm at 500, so I need to get some good weeks to get back up there.
We've had, football to me, I'm under 500 with NFL. Little shoppy, my dogs. I take the dogs that lose. I take the favorites that lose. So that's the way it's been the first 2 weeks for me. So NFL, I think a lot of guys have struggled.
Game. I mean, that easily could have went either way.
I had Eagles -4. I had Eagles -4 in that one. I thought I was all right when it was 6
I
point
had the Falcons. So. I was counting as a losses. I was thinking, here comes a field goal. They're going to go up by 6.
That was never in doubt, Brian.
So, I count that one as a lucky one. But.
Chip, any thoughts on Arizona, Detroit here?
I'm coming off a 5-2 NFL weekend, and I also posted Arizona, and this was the easy blowout winner from start to finish. It looks like Kyler Murphy's a different type of player right now, and maybe he's actually studied the playbook. I don't know. But the problem here is Detroit is 4-0-1 against the Cardinals in the last 5 meetings. But, Detroit had trouble last week scoring in the red zone. They only had 1 touchdown and 7 trips in. They are still second in the NFL in total yardage, 419 yards a game. They're averaging over 5 yards a rush. And Arizona looks like a much improved team this year right now. They've gone 7-3 over in their last 10 games. Both games this season have gone over. They're averaging 177 yards rushing. And I think this game goes over. Murray's got a quarterback rating of 128, which I'm kind of surprised about. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Murray creates a lot of points with his mobility and the way he moves around. And I'm looking for Goff to have a bounce-back day. It was the first time, I think, in a number of years that he had 2 interceptions with no TD passes last week for the Lions. And the Lions are going to get heavy play all year. So I understand the Arizona play. And, I just think this game goes over. I think it's a high-scoring game. I'm intimidated by the number, which is, 3.5, 3. I think it's very, very scarce. It's very, very shallow. But I'm going to play the game over the total. And that's right now my best with that until I get more information before the week's out.
You got to look at the over with Detroit because they're just not punching in the end zone. Eventually, those kind of level out, right? We talk about coming back to the mean and stuff like that. So if they're not scoring and they're settling for field goals or just going for it and not getting it, that's going to adjust itself. And Arizona, let's be honest. They're an offensive first team. Murray, when he's healthy, the guy's good. I mean, he's going to run for 10 touchdowns. He's going to throw for about 25. He's got some talent around him. You saw Harrison had a big game. Connor, the running back, they got some players there. I like the dog play, and you'd have to lean over too as well, because I think the Arizona defense is. You saw them fall apart in Buffalo, so why wouldn't this game be a dog and an over kind of play here, right? I mean, you're taking the dog. You need them to score points, right? So when you got a bad defense, that means outscoring the opponent. So official play, though, for Brian Bitler is the Arizona Cardinals plus the 3 points. Maybe we get a 3.5 by game day. We will see. Now, on to Mr. Chip Chirimbes. He's got Philadelphia off of Monday night, because that's what you are. You're filthy to me because you can't cover losing with bad. Unbelievable. Anyway, this one. How about this line against the Saints? 4.5 before the game start getting going last week. Now it's totally flipped to a Saints 2.5, even a 3 in some spots. Total of 49.5. The Saints, all right, you beat up the Panthers. I thought that was going to be like a 30-3 kind of game. They move on, and then they go to Dallas, and I thought Dallas would lose to the Browns, and Dallas would beat them, and it would be whatever. You got the Eagles off on Monday night debacle. Are you kidding me? I mean, the coach, I said this guy was on the hot seat. It is flaming. I should have worn my little shirt with the guy that says, like, it's all fine here, because that's what he's in. He's in the hot seat right now. 2-8-1 their last 11 games, I think, Philadelphia. And what's his name? Clint Kubiak taking after his old man with this offense. Are you kidding me? 180 yards rushing, 190 yards rushing against the Cowboys, 180 versus the Panthers, pounding the ball. I think Philly's got a little problem here coming up. I think this. I don't know how for real the Saints offense is, but your pick, a 3 and a 49, a 2.5, 3. Are you kidding? 6-point line move? Justified? I don't know. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on with the Saints? They scored 48, 47, and 44 in their last 3 games going back to last season. And they opened the season with 15 straight scores. I mean, 15 straight possessions, had 6 TDs versus Dallas. I just think they're offensively right now, they're leading, of course, the NFL in scoring and averaging 185 yards a game on the ground. Philadelphia isn't doing all that poorly on offense. If they had been able to guard anyone on that final drive, they might have pulled out the victory against Atlanta on Monday night. They're 6th in the NFL in offense right now. They're averaging just under 400 yards a game. And New Orleans is getting 405 yards a game. Like I said, 185 yards rushing. But Derek Carr's quarterback rating's at 140. So I think this game goes over the total. I haven't seen Philadelphia tackle anybody yet, and I haven't seen anyone stop the Saints yet. So I think the play is over here. That line change, Sean, I'm going from, Philadelphia being over a field goal favorite, and they're probably going to be over a field goal underdog before the game kicks off. But I think the total at 49.5 is very high for NFL standards, and I'm looking for this game to go over the total. I think the bookmaker is telling you that it's going to be a high-scoring game with that total.
Chip Chirimbes, official Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast pick on the over 4.8, 4.5. That'd be easy. Probably have that first quarter. Over 49.5, Eagles and the Saints. Brian, thoughts on Philly and the Saints?
Yeah, if I had to give a lean in this one, I would lean on first glance to the New Orleans Saints laying the points. Now, normally I like to go the other way. A team opened up and this line moved this far. I like to go the other way. But the Eagles, I think they're one of those Super Bowl contenders at the beginning of the year. They're hyped up. New Orleans Saints, kind of similar to the Arizona Cardinals, not really much expected of them. New Orleans never easy to play in that Superdome. So for me, I would lay the points here with the Saints. I think this line tells you a lot. I think they're begging for Eagles action. I'll take the Saints.
I thought for sure Dennis Allen would be on his way out for New Orleans. I'm like, man, this team's terrible. Give me Tampa Bay to win again. All the hype was on the Falcons with their, signing Cousins and stuff. But, man, offensive change with the coordinator, and you're putting up 46 points a game in the NFL. I would never guess
that. David Carr.
Exactly. I mean, all right, official plays. Over 49.5, Saints, Philly for Chip. Brian Bitler has Arizona Cardinals +3 versus the Detroit Lions. And also, again, these are just free picks. Not too. And again, we went, 6-2 the last 3 days. We put out NFL and college football. Here's the premium stuff. I'm going to throw it up here. $7.99. Go get a season package. If you want to go season package, at least go 3-7 or 30-day. We're going to show you a profit or you get credit back and you can go buy somebody else. But let's be honest. You give any one of us 3 days, 7 days, or a month, we're going to show you a profit, especially with football here. So check that out. The free stuff is great. We do win the free stuff, but I think I said yesterday, Chip, right? I mean, you got a toothache. You don't let the guy under the bridge pull your tooth out because it's free. No, you're going to go to the dentist office. Like the free stuff, we try to hit every game. I don't know about, right? You want people to win, but again, these are freebies. We were freebies, and they've been winning, but I just tell you that to tell you because why wouldn't I? I have, speaking of winners, the Carolina Panthers. That's the gem I pulled today because we do so many videos here. Someone's got to have the garbage can game, and I got Carolina and the Raiders, and we get a quarterback change. Unbelievable here. So we have the Raiders now a 5.5 point favorite, total of 41. You know, when the line goes from 7 to 5 and they pull your number one draft pick out, you probably got problems here, Dave Canale, as a head coach. You know, you think he's a quarterback guru. If your best chance of winning is pulling Andy Dalton for a spot start, and last year he did a spot start, he threw for 300 yards for Seattle. If this is their best hope, this guy's – I feel bad because he's going to end up having maybe a winless season or a one-win season. Would they fire him after that? I mean, it's one of those spots where, hey, it's not my quarterback, so you can't really judge me on that. So we got to draft Cam Ward number 1 next year, whatever. So no Young, which is probably a good thing. Andy Dalton, he's only 34 years old, which is shocking to me. But they lost 33-13 last time they played. Let's move on to a little bright spot here with the Raiders. 1-1. Got to be more than excited to come home. Huge upset win. Battled back from 10 down. Beat the Ravens. Now you're coming back home against a punchless Panther team who's been outscored, 73-13 or something like that. I mean, they've been absolutely destroyed. I hate this kind of 5.5 number. It's one of those in-betweeners where you're like, what to do with it? It's not enough. You're not getting that touchdown. It's a little more than a field goal. Do you really want to even take the Panthers? I had the Panthers in week 1. How'd that work out with 5.5? Not too good. I'm going to look at the total here, though, with Minshew Mania. You could have the little letdown spot. They're feeling a little too good about themselves beating Baltimore. Maybe they play down to the competition here. Either way, I think you see some ugly kind of football. Here come the Raiders back to what they're supposed to be. I mean, did they win that game or did really Baltimore kind of lose that one? Letdown spot, bad team, a quarterback on a short week who's, let's be honest, if he was any good, he'd be starting somewhere, Andy Dalton. I mean, he's still 34, is pretty young in today's day and age. I'm going to go under this total, though, 41. I think we see some defense, bad football. As long as we're not getting 6 picks, I think this should stay under this total. I mean, give me the under 41. And Chipper, start us off because you're a Vegas guy out there.
Sean, you and I had something in common Sunday because I also had Carolina. And when you look at them in their last 7 games, they've scored 6, 9, 0, 0, 10, and 3 in 6 of those 7. Absolutely no offense, 2 and 16 under Young. Now we're going to get Andy Dalton. And like you said, it's sort of a question mark what's going to happen here. But, you know, the Raiders are, I think, they start with defense with Pierce. And Minshew had a great game for them as they came from behind over the Raiders. I did split. I did have the Raiders. So these two teams, I had a win and a loss last week. The Raiders' offense isn't all that great. They're averaging under 300 yards a game. And, of course, Carolina's last in the NFL in offense and averaging 176 yards. I mean, absolutely horrendous. Can't make first downs, can't do anything. Now, maybe they're going to have a whole different attitude coming out with Dalton, that quarterback, but I just don't all of a sudden see where they're going to get this offensive firepower. So, like you, I'm going to look to play the game under. Carolina's scored only 87 points going back last year to their last 10 games, and their total is 3-7 to the under. I think the under is the only way to go here if you're going to play this game. And like you said, it's garbage time. If this was a bowl game, we'd be calling it the toilet bowl. But right now, I'm going to play under.
Brian, thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I like to buy low on teams and sell high. I think right now you're selling the Raiders after that big win, and you're buying in on Carolina because they can't get much worse, the public perception of the Carolina Panthers. Plus, you get Andy Dalton, a veteran quarterback. I could easily see this being a 3-point win for the Raiders and getting a cover here at Carolina. So for me, I'll lean towards the Panthers plus the points.
Panthers plus the points, a little dog look there, and why not, right? Big letdown
They can't
spot
get any worse than they already
big,
are. So.
You got the letdown spot, and the Panthers, the whole world's just giving up on them, basically. Official, though, video pick. The under 41 here, Raiders, is my official play. Brian is like an Arizona Cardinals +3. Chip likes the over Saints Philly. All the premium stuff is at gamblersworld.net. 3 738 packages are guaranteed. Yes. Free picks daily. Tomorrow, me, Chip, Doug, doing some college football. Friday live show. Me, Marc Lawrence, and Victor King. Tomorrow, Chip's going to have, right, Paul Bovey and Jim Feist you do, right?
Right.
Another free pick. That's why we say hit the likes, subscribe to the videos. We got you covered. Chip's also got you covered because today is September the 18th. And I'm sure in 1934, Warren Spahn did something crazy, but we'll find out about it. No, okay. I always try to guess the year, right?
You know, Sean, you know how we talk about the rule changes in baseball and how, some of them we think are just so silly, placing a man on second base and things along those lines. But before baseball really became what it is today, in 1848,
oh my God,
on this date, Sean, they changed the rule where you no longer had to tag the base runner running to first base. You could
look at that.
The base
That's from 1848. There you go.
Got there. Right? 1848. Now, in 1930, bringing it up to more modern times, that was only 96, 98 years ago, whatever. Red Ruffing, a pitcher for the Yankees, hit 2 home runs in the same game. And you're not going to see that very often because when do pitchers ever get the bat? And in NFL football action in 1938, the Bears beat the Packers 2-0. In 1955, at Ebbets Field, Willie Mays hit his 9th home run of the season at Ebbets Field to break Joe Adcock's record of 8. And on this date in 1963, the final game at the Polo Grounds was played by the Mets, who lost to the Phillies. I was going to cheer Jim Quinn up with this. Before 1,700 fans, the last game at the Polo Grounds. So that's it for September 18th. But tagging the guy out, or being able to get the guy out by throwing the ball to first base was probably the major baseball rule change at that time.
Yeah, you figured that would be like that in the first thing. Like, hey, let's throw them instead of trying to run you down from the outfield.
I think this is before there were actually American and National Leagues.
Like, what is that about? Oh, that's 1848. There we go. There's one for you, folks. Brian, what do you think about Chip's 1848 reference? A little too far back for your first?
I'll tell you what, even I had no clue about that, but definitely I enjoy learning stuff, so I enjoyed it. I see. I'm gonna have to think. That's even like an off-air conversation with that. Throwing the ball at first base like that. You think that would be kind of basic? Like, hey, we could catch the ball over here. We could throw it to the guy to get him. No, you had to run people down.
Right.
Well, Deion Sanders running people down. Like, how are you running somebody down when he hit it? I don't know. My fat ball would have just been.
And this is 12 years before the Civil War even kicked off. So.
And folks, Chip was not in attendance at this, nor was he at the rules hearing.
I had a rain check ticket for it, though.
He was not part of the planning of that game. For Chip, Brian, and myself, we will be back tomorrow with some college football, me and Doug. Brian, thank you for coming in on your first year show here next Wednesday. Brian will be with us on Wednesdays going forward, I believe, right? Yes to those. Wednesdays will be your spot. There you go.
Wednesday works for me.
Wednesday, Brian, Chip, Higgies, we'll all be here. Hopefully you'll come back and see us again. Like button on the way out. Good luck in your picks, folks. Bye-bye.